Oh, I'm so sorry. Just 1 minute, sir. It's going to be 2 years deferred. Thank you. You would have gotten there, yeah. It's going to be 2 years deferred adjudication. Hello, Mr. McKee. How are you doing today? Oh, I cannot complain. Let me see what is happening with your case here. Odyssey is running very slow today. All right. Yes. Oh, I don't get into negotiations.
But just to share a little bit with the court, so he is, I don't believe that he currently has resources to comply with probation, and so I would like to return to court, which is a new, a specialty court at a county court 15, but I would first have to refer him.
Well,
and
they're
have
not
his-
going to accept him with this felony. We've done that before.
They would have to reduce it to. a
So
terrorism.
they're not reducing it.
Oh, you're not reducing, oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
So,
So,
all right.
okay. All right. Thank you. Could I see you, please? How are you doing, Mr. Randall? Well, it's good to see you. Your attorney, Carl Alexander was here. So I just want to explain something to you about the legal process, and he wanted me to explain it to you. All right, anytime you have somebody who says their defense is not guilty by reason of insanity, which means at the time of the offense, you didn't know right from wrong, right? Well, in order to have a plea for that, you would have to plead not guilty, right? And it would be not guilty by reason of insanity. He informed the court that usually you will enter a plea of no contest. All right, so you'll have to say not guilty by reason of insanity. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, do you have any questions about anything?
Is there any way I can plead no contest, miss?
No, usually that's not how it works. So what will end up happening if you plead no contest? No contest basically means you're not saying you're guilty. You're not saying you're not guilty. You're just not fighting the charges against you. But in this case, there's been a mental diagnosis of you saying that you're currently competent, right? Because competency is your mental state right now. So right now, you understand what the charges are against you. Sanity has to do with at the time of any offense. So let's say you're charged with theft, right? So in order for them to evaluate sanity, they won't evaluate your mental state now. They'll be evaluating what was your mental state at the time of the offense. So when you have an insanity plea, you're not saying you didn't do the actions. You're just saying, I couldn't form, sorry. You're just saying that at the time of the offense, you didn't know right from wrong. That's basically what it is in layman's term. So you would have to enter a plea of not guilty by reason of insanity. And then what would end up happening is a judge would receive documentation from the state. It wouldn't be witnesses that will be called unless the state is not in agreement with you saying that you were insane at the time of the offense. So what would end up happening is, have you ever, obviously you've done plea agreements before, that's why you're saying no contest. So during insanity pleas, when you say you're not guilty by reason of insanity, you'll still have plea paperwork there. And the judge will review that plea paperwork. And she has to see, she or he has to see paperwork that proves that you committed the offense, right? But that she can't find you guilty of it because you were insane at the time of the offense. So really a not guilty plea, in a way, sometimes it's better than a no contest plea, because a no contest plea, you're not fighting the charges against you. A not guilty plea is you're saying you're not guilty and you just have a defense, and it's an affirmative defense. So that is why it's going to be difficult for you to do it by a no contest plea. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, what I can tell you about insanity pleas, whatever your range of punishment, that's the length of time you're going to be under supervision by somebody. So for example, if your range of punishment is a state jail felony, and so the range of punishment for a state jail felony is 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility. If you were found not guilty by reason of insanity on a state jail felony, that means that you're going to be supervised for 2 years. If it were a third degree felony that you were found not guilty by reason of insanity, you'd be supervised for 10 years. For example, if you were charged with a first-degree felony and you were found not guilty by reason of insanity, you would be supervised for the rest of your life because it would be a lifetime supervision because that's the range of punishment. Do you understand? Do you have any questions about anything?
It's just, what could I expect? How much time am I looking at and, am I going to the same
Well,
hospital?
what are you charged with?
Not criminal mischief, 2 assaults on a public servant, and 1 MTR, motion to revoke probation was,
Well, this is what I can tell you. Legally, when you are found not guilty by reason of insanity, or if you're incompetent, the law says that if it's a violent offense, they will take you to the state hospital to have you evaluated to see if you're stable. That's the law, if it's a violent offense. So that's really what it's going to depend on. Now, your attorney will be able to present information to the judge saying that you're stable and have perhaps a doctor come in and testify and say that you're stable. Do you understand?
yes, ma'am.
All right, so you have any questions about anything?
Were you able to receive any of my motions? Did any of my motions that I sent go through?
No, so this is the way that works. You have an attorney who represents you. So the attorney is the one who files motions. Your attorney will review the motions that you are filed. And if your attorney feels as though those are great motions, then he'll ask them that they be presented to me. Okay? All right, do you have any question about anything else?
No, just,
So you now you understand the no contest plea and the not guilty?
yes, ma'am.
All right, so if you are planning to say that you were insane at the time of the offense, it's not guilty by reason of insanity. And that's just how you are at the time of the offense. That's not saying you're currently insane. You understand? All right. Okay. Well, it's good seeing you. I hope you're doing okay.
Oh, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am.
All right, so Norma, can you call Carl Alexander? Yes, is he near here? If he's not near here, that's fine, but if he's near here, so he can speak to his client and let him know his client understands the difference between the no contest plea and not guilty. All right, all right, okay, thank you.
Hey, Judge.
Hi. Hi, so Mr. Alexander, I informed your client who's here before me that you were in agreement with my explaining to him no contest plea and guilty plea. So he says he now understands and that he's willing to do the not guilty by reason of insanity.
Okay, perfect.
So I don't know when you're on schedule for that.
We're not. I think we probably need to get re-referred back to Judge Rodriguez because the last time it was referred to Judge Carruthers.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you let them know that they need to, what date are you available?
Let's see. We are physically moving offices this week, so I'm trying to juggle what docket I do have with that. So let me see. I have nothing scheduled this coming Monday if they can do it that fast.
All right, and what's your client's cause number, please?
That'll take me a second, Judge. Let's see.
You want me to offer something, or do you want to talk to your girl
Why
first?
don't you make him an offer and then I think he's gonna accept it based on our talks, but
Oh, you want it today only?
Do you know your cause number by chance?
Sorry, Judge, I have them now. It's 2019 CR 12265 and 2019 CR 12266.
All right.
sorry.
Then what I'll do is I'll send an email to you. And I'll include, you say it's Sally Unkelfer?
Same time.
I've been conferring with Sally in the past on this matter. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Carl, can you put your email address in the chat for me, please?
Certainly, Judge.
Thank you. All right. I just emailed it. Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, and we'll make sure that you get placed in the docket.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes, you're excused. Thank you.
Thank you.
Court is calling 2025 CR 0000404 State versus Toby McKee. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
defense?
Anya Duvetta, Public Defender's Office for Mr. McKee.
I'm sorry, could you repeat your last name for the court
Sure.
reporter?
Rivera, Rivera.
All right, and are you Mr. McKee?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, you all can step back a little bit. Counsel, have you received all discovery and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. McKee, did you review the document entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you sign it?
Yes, I did.
Did you review the document entitled True Bill of Indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Your Honor.
Did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand you're charged with the offense of terroristic threat against a peace officer as a state jail felony? Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent. Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do.
Mr. McKee, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, I am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, off the record for a moment. Deputy Mejia, Deputy Laura, they can go back and we'll see y'all on Thursday. All right, we're back on the record. Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you receive the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, there's a $2,000 fine and state recommends deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Judge.
Did
Yes,
you,
ma'am.
defense, is that the plea?
Yes.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places? Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 200 hours community service restitution, and no contact with the San Antonio Riverwalk. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes,
I'm sorry, did you understand that those were the state's recommendations?
yes, ma'am.
And did you understand that the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No comment.
State any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor, state exhibit number one with all its attachments.
No objection, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, I would ask that his fine be probated and that his community service hours be reduced to 80. We would ask for the lowest probation fees.
All right, I'll probate the $2,000 fine. When's the last time you had employment?
Last May of 2024.
All right, is there a reason why you're unemployed?
I have epilepsy, I had seizures, and I lost my job, and then I was trying to, I lost my ID and everything when I had the seizure. And I was in the process of getting my ID back so that I could find employment at the time of my arrest.
All right.
I had interviewed the next day.
Do you have any family here in
In
San Antonio?
Not in San Antonio.
Where is your family?
Houston.
All right. Do you want your probation transferred to Houston or Ohio?
No,
All right. So when is the last time you had contact with your family?
I talked last week. I talked to my family regularly.
All right. So is anybody helping you with your issues?
Yes,
All right. When's the last time you used any type of drugs?
I've never used drugs,
All right. So I don't understand.
other than prescription.
All right. And why isn't your family more helpful for you? I don't understand. What is the disconnect between you and your family?
There is no disconnect between my family.
All right. So I don't understand why you're homeless then, because your attorney had told the court that you're homeless. It would seem to me that if you have a good relationship with your family, that somebody would have said, hey, until you get yourself together, you can come stay with us for a couple of months. So what's going on?
I came down to to Texas to be with a friend, but that didn't work out, and I decided to keep myself here and work on my own.
All right. So what type of employment did you have before you had seizures?
I was customer service
For what company?
for a telemarketing company, and then,
How far did you go in school?
excuse me,
How far did you go in school?
I finished my degree,
And what?
political science, and criminal justice.
Okay. See, there's something that's going on here that I don't understand. I don't understand why he's homeless. I understand that people fall on hard times. I understand that people don't have employment. Trust me, I understand all of this, but I don't understand why there's not a family member. Because you're saying your relationship is great with them or it's
Yes.
good with them.
Yes, my friend.
So is your mom
My mom is
passed?
yes,
I'm sorry about that. Your father?
yeah.
All right. So is it just your siblings?
Yes, my siblings, my grandparents, and my aunts and uncles, my mother's brothers and sisters.
So would any of them want you to live with them or no?
They would let me stay with them if I wanted to, yeah.
All right, because I just don't know how you're gonna make it on probation without a place to stay.
I have a friends to stay with for now.
All right, because you have to report.
Yes,
All right. $2,000 fine, probated, regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, proof of employment or SSI within 60 days. There should be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's going to be 200 hours of community service restitution. Once he completes anger management, that will be deemed satisfied. And state this no contact with the San Antonio Riverwalk. It appears that a lot was going on. Were you living near the Riverwalk?
no, I would go to the Riverwalk to hang, just to sit and be on my phone sometimes, that's all.
All right, so if he's not putting up a tent on the Riverwalk, I don't have any problems with him being on the Riverwalk. Here's the other thing I understand, because I've walked along the Riverwalk. Sometimes people are sleeping on benches. People don't like that because the Riverwalk is supposed to be a touristy spot. And many times people want to pretend as that there's no homelessness, there are no issues. So they like the Riverwalk to be like pristine. You understand?
That's something I realize now.
All right. There's going to be field visits one time per month for 3 months. And let's see if we can do a referral for Haven for Hope. Probation, is there anything else? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, ma'am.
All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes,
Because it's a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed the plea bargaining agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. If there comes a time when you and your family are on better terms and you want your probation transferred, just let the court know and we'll make that happen. You need to make sure you stay in contact with probation. You understand?
Yes.
All right, good
Thank
luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Just 1 minute, sir. It's going to be 2 years deferred. Thank you. You would have gotten there, yeah. It's going to be 2 years deferred adjudication. If you complete everything earlier, you'll be off earlier, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank
Thank
you. Thank you, yeah. Could you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you can lower your hand. Just make sure you keep your voice up so that the members of the jury and everyone can hear.
Okay, yes.
All right, if you'll state your name for the record.
Joelle Foster.
All right, state.
Ms. Foster,
In June of 2024, what vehicle did you own and operate?
A Infinity QX50 2020.
And is that a truck? Is it a sport utility vehicle?
No, it's a small SUV.
And on June 14th, 2024, if you remember, where did you leave it?
I left it at the parking garage at the University of Texas Dental School.
Why did you leave it there?
I was in Laredo, Texas on a rotation from Wednesday through Friday. And so it was an overnight and we always leave our cars there.
And so when did you return to your vehicle?
I returned on Friday,
And what date was that?
June 14th.
And when you returned, where did you go?
I returned to the third floor of the parking garage where I had left my vehicle.
And do you recall what parking slot you left your vehicle in?
I do.
What slot was it?
It's, I don't know if it's numbered or not. I just have like a parking pass for the roof, but it's the one directly next to the stairs.
And when you went to the place where you left your vehicle, what did you find?
An empty spot.
What did you do next?
I went inside and grabbed a classmate, made them come out with me and confirm and look around, make sure I wasn't forgetting something.
Were you forgetting something?
No.
What did you do next?
Then I went to the, the security guard at the dental school and notified them that I thought that my car had been stolen. They took me around in their car, around all the floors of the parking garage to confirm that it was nowhere to be found. And then they started looking into it and filing a report.
Did you eventually find your car?
I did not. The police did.
When were you reunited with it?
I believe it was Saturday, the 15th.
Now, between June 12th and June 15th, did you give anyone permission to use your vehicle or to move?
No,
Have you ever heard the name Miles Fitton?
no,
Did you give a man by the name of Miles Fitton permission to use your vehicle?
no,
So just to clarify, you gave no one permission to use your vehicle other than you.
correct. The only person who had access or consent to use my vehicle would have also been my fiance, and that's it.
That's the witness.
Defense?
Ms. Foster, does that vehicle have, come with a key fob?
Yes, sir.
And after you parked the vehicle, what did you do with that fob?
I took it with me.
Do you know where your fiance keeps his key fob? Does he have one?
He does. There is an extra.
And how does he keep that?
So normally it's in our house, but the day before, he had taken my vehicle to put new tires on and had accidentally left it in the vehicle as well. And I did not know that it was in the car as well. So I had mine with me, but there was an extra fob located inside the vehicle that I didn't know about.
And did you leave the vehicle locked?
I don't recall specifically if I can't confidently say if I locked it or unlocked, I left it unlocked.
Do you have any way of knowing whether your fiance is a friend or acquaintance of the defendant?
I know that he is not, he did not give anyone consent that day as well to use the vehicle.
But you weren't with him, correct?
Correct.
Any further questions?
By any chance, was there a third key fob to this vehicle?
No, there's only two.
And the two key fobs, are they the only way that you can access the vehicle?
To my knowledge, yes, sir.
Are they the only way that you can start the vehicle and move?
Yes, there has to be present for it to push to start. So as long as the fob is within a certain area, then it will start.
Pass the witness.
Nothing.
Is this witness excused or subject for recall?
Excused by the state judge.
Excuse.
All right, thank you. You may step down.
Thank you.
State, call your next witness. Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Gilbert Rocha.
All right, if you just make sure you keep your voice up so that everyone can hear. State.
Officer Rocha, how are you currently employed?
At this time, I'm employed with the University of Texas Health Science Center,
And in what capacity?
a patrol officer.
How long have you been employed with that agency as a patrol officer?
A patrol officer with the agency since May of last year.
And before that, did you have any experience as a law enforcement officer?
Yes, I did 33 9 months with the San Antonio Police Department, and also I did 5 years with the East Central School District.
And are you a certified peace officer in the state of Texas?
Yes, I am.
What were your responsibilities on June 14th of 2024?
I responded to a call for a stolen vehicle on the property of the UT Health Science Center at the dental school, what we call the Coker.
I'm sorry, the school on what?
UT Health Science Center, Coker, COHCR.
Is that location in Bexar County, Texas?
Yes,
Who, if anyone, did you meet when you went to that location?
I met the owner, I believe her name was Foster.
And what was her complaint?
Her complaint was over the weekend, she parked her vehicle at the garage or the dental building. And when she returned, it was gone. She had to do I guess, out of town business. That's all I know. But she did park her vehicle at the garage.
Okay, how did you, I apologize for interrupting. How did you begin your investigation?
First contacted the owner of the vehicle in the lobby. And she provided more or less the information she gave me. Parked the vehicle and when she returned, I think it was the following day or so. And it was gone. I don't know if it was the following day or not. I know that it might be several days later.
And how did your investigation progress?
Okay, as the I did ask this questions. Did you have Bob? Did you park it? Did you lock? All the little simple things that we supposed to do. And she confirmed everything else. And she did all this. And from there, once I took the information, we usually put the vehicle on more or less like a bolo, be on the lookout in the system in case it's found somewhere else. Then right after that, usually what I usually do, I try to look at the video. Hey, what cameras caught this crime?
Were there any surveillance cameras in that parking lot?
Yes, there is. There's multiple ones.
And were they recording the interior of the parking garage on that day?
Yes, there were.
And were you able to view any of those recordings?
I did view the recordings, believe the one where person walking into the garage and also exiting the garage. And I believe the one where her vehicle was parked up on the roof.
And who kept these recordings?
The let's see, UT Health Science Center, like this, whoever maintains the servers.
And they gave you access to copies of the recording?
Yes, I do have access to the
Judge, 1 second. I think the last witness took my mic.
All right, could you all come back with
No,
our
it's not
mic?
that one. Thank you.
And do you need an extra mic? Excuse me.
Yeah, I have an extra mic.
Judge, may I approach the witness?
Yes.
Officer, showing you what is labeled HCG lower level elevators. Do you recognize this?
yes.
What is it?
It's a CD with my initials on it. It has the location where the camera recorded.
And how do you know what is on this list?
My name, G Rocha, and my badge number and today's date.
Okay, did you view the recordings of this disc?
Yes, I did.
And were they altered in any way?
No,
No edits?
no edits, no nothing at all. It's clear, straight through recording.
Now, the security cameras in that parking garage, did they record audio as well as video?
Just video.
So there's no sound on this, correct?
No.
Judge, permission to tender to defense counsel for inspection?
Objection, Judge, hearsay.
The objection to hearsay will be overruled.
Judge, we're gonna object that witness is not the custodian of records.
All right, is this custodian?
No, Judge.
All right, that objection will be sustained.
Your Honor, may I respond to defense's objection?
Yes.
Under Rule 901, a custodian of records is one way of authenticating a recording of visual or audio. There are multiple other ways, including identification of distinctive characteristics, which, from what I can tell, Officer Rocha has done. So while this may not be a custodian of records, Officer Rocha has nevertheless laid a sufficient predicate for authentication of this video.
That will be, defense's objection will be sustained. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, let me give you a short break, and then we'll finish with this witness. That way, the court reporter can get her microphone back. All right, so you are not allowed to start deliberating or do any investigation of this case. Everything that you need to know about this case is to come from inside the courtroom. Does everyone understand? All right, everyone, please rise for the jurors.
শুনেন কালকের খেলায় আপনি হারবেন
বাবা কনফিডেন্স দেখছো মেয়ে
যদি না হারছেন তাহলে কিন্তু বললাম এটা দিয়ে আমি আমার হাতে আপনার নাম লিখুন
মানে
মানে তো তখনই বুঝবেন যখন এটা দায় আপনার উপর পড়বো
সমস্যা থেকে ওই দিনকার তোরে হাত খরচে লেগা 5,000 টাকা দিয়েছিলাম আবার টাকা টাকা কি গাছে ধরে
আব্বাজান আপনি তো কত টাকাই কামান 5,000 টাকা দিলে আপনার কি হয় আমি আপনার একমাত্র আমার মাইয়া তো আমার পিছনে খরচ করবেন না কার পিছনে করবেন আমার একটা কুর্তি পছন্দ হয়েছে ওই কুর্তি আমি কিনতে চাই
কুর্তি মূর্তি লেহেঙ্গা ওড়না এসব দিয়ে তো ঘর বইরে গেছে হাঁটুনের বি জায়গা নাই মন চায় তোর এগুলা নাইজেরিয়া বুলগেরিয়া আর উগান্ডায় পাঠাইয়া দে আচ্ছা এত কিছু কিনার দরকার নাকি
কি করতেছেন আব্বা একটা শখ করছি শখের দাম লাখ টাকা শখ যদি না মিটে তাহলে এই জীবন রেখা লাভ কি আপনি যদি আমার টাকা না দিচ্ছেন তাহলে কিন্তু আমি কয়ে দিলাম ব্লেড দিয়ে হাত কেটে নাম লেখা ফেলাম
আচ্ছা ব্লেড দিয়ে এই কুর্তির লেগে হাত কাটানোর দরকার নাই আমি বাইরে যাওয়ানোর সময় তোর টাকা দিয়ে যাবো
থ্যাংক ইউ আব্বা
আচ্ছা লাইলি তুমি এরকম প্রতিদিন কোনো পড়াই কমপ্লিট করছো না আমি কিন্তু তোমাকে আর পড়াতে আসবো না
আসেন না আপনারা কথাই কইছি আইতে আমি কইছি
শেষ পর্যন্ত তোমার বাবার কাছে আমাকে কমপ্লেন করতে হবে
আপনি আমার বাপের কাছে কমপ্লেন করবেন
পড়াশোনা করছো না বাবার কাছে কমপ্লেন করবো না অবশ্যই করবো
ঠিক আছে আপনি যান আপনি আমার বাপের কাছে কমপ্লেন করেন এদিকে আমি ব্লেড দিয়ে হাত কেটে আপনার হাতের নাম লেখা রাখবো এখান দিয়ে
বলতে চলেছ আস্তাগফিরুল্লাহ দেখো এইবার না হয় আমি তোমার বাবার কাছে কমপ্লেন করবো না কিন্তু তুমি যদি পরীক্ষায় ডাব্বা মারো তাহলে তো আবার আমি শেষ
ও তুমি
ডরাইছেন
দৌড়াবো কেন মাগের এরকম আটকা মায়া মনে সামনে চলে আসলে তো একটু চিন্তা লাগেই আর কালকে আবার তোমার মামার সাথে চ্যালেঞ্জ বইলাইছো শেষবার মতো চুল দাঁড়িয়ে আশ্রয় আসতে
শুনেন কালকের খেলায় আপনি হারবেন
বাবা কনফিডেন্স দেখছো মেয়ে
যদি না হারছেন তাহলে কিন্তু বললাম এটা দিয়ে আমি আমার হাতে আপনার নাম লিখুন
মানে
মানে তো তখনই বুঝবেন যখন এটা দায় আপনার উপর পড়বো সরেন
আরে ভাই নাম লিখবা মানে কি মুসিবতে বললাম জিততে না পারে এখন 2 নাম্বারই কি সমস্যা যাইতে দিছো না কেন
সমস্যা আমার না আপনার আপনি মানুষ না খুনি
মানে
মানে বুঝেন না কালকে কি করছেন কাচির লগে কি মিলাচ্ছেন পেট খারাপের ওষুধ
দেখো এখন কিন্তু বাড়াবাড়ি হইতেছে তোমরা কাচ্চি খাইতে চাইছো আমি খাওয়াইছি ব্যাস কারণ কারো যদি পেট পাতলা হয়ে যায় কেউ যদি হজম করতে না পারে সেটা তো তার সমস্যা আমার না
বাড়াবাড়ি আমরা করছি না আপনারা করছেন মানে ইচ্ছে করে আপনারা খান নাই কালকে তাই না যাতে আমার লগে প্রতিশোধ নিতে পারেন
আর যদি নিতে চাই সেটা কি দোষ 3 বার ঘুরি চ্যাম্পিয়ন আমি তোমার কারণে আমার হারতে হয়েছে
হারছেন তো কি মাঝে মাঝে কিছু জিতবার লাগা কিছু হারতে হয়
এই তোমার কাছে হাইরে আমি কি জিতছি হ্যাঁ
আমারই জিতছেন আমার মন জিতছে
এই দেখো তুমি আমারে আবার কোনো কিছু তো ফাঁসে দিচ্ছ আমি বুঝছি এইসব ফান্দে আমি পা দিতেছি না প্লিজ
আমি আপনারে ফাঁসাই নাই আপনি আমারে ফাঁসাইছেন আমি তো আপনার প্রেমে পড়ে গেছি ফ্রি মাস্টার
এক চক্কর
আপনি আমার মারবেন মারেন কাটতেও ফালান কিন্তু আমি আপনার ভালোবাসি এটাই সাইন্স
এর জন্যই তো সায়েন্সে মারো ডাব্বা
যতই অপমান করেন সারি তো আপনার আমার লগে হইব
তোমার মতো মেয়ের সাথে শাদি দূরে থাক, প্রেম পর্যন্ত করতে রাজি নাই আমি। হ্যাঁ, আর এইসব ব্লেড ফেড দিয়ে কোনো কাজ হবে না, আমি ভয় পাই না আর।
দেখবো চন্দ্র তুমি কি করো।
Detective, if you could take the seat. You know, my mom, she loves to watch BritBox and Acorn. And all of their officers, they usually have titles of detective inspector or officer inspector. So, yeah. So wait, I'm gonna end up telling
Yeah, they call him DC or something.
DCI.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell my
Detective.
mom that I met a detective officer.
Detective with an SAPD, but
Mhm.
I want to say boundaries.
I mean,
I love it. I love this job.
oh, that is awesome. All right, we're ready.
Ready?
Yes.
All rise for the jury.
Everyone, please be seated and state, I believe it's your witness.
Officer, we reviewed these surveillance recordings. Did anything stand out to you?
On my report, I did have I usually write a description of the person wearing a hoodie, emblems on their jacket, and usually number one thing I do is always my shoes are wearing. They're very sleek. And then, the other thing I noticed was when the vehicle just drove off out of the lot, out of the garage.
And approximately what time did the vehicle leave?
Between 12:30, something like that, 12:30, 1 o'clock. Maybe. It doesn't take that long. It wasn't that long.
From the surveillance recordings, did you see anyone inside the garage around that time?
Yes.
Can you describe the person that you saw?
Yeah, only I couldn't tell the ethnic group, but just what he was wearing. And walking around the garage, I believe I saw it was a lower level. And just by the elevator.
And what was that person wearing?
But I saw a dark blue hoodie. Tennis shoes,
Do you recall what color those tennis shoes were?
white.
Was this person wearing anything else?
I
Pants?
think I believe he had like a satchel or a bag, something like that. So I can't tell you it was a leather, plastic, anything like that, but I believe he was wearing, carrying something.
What about pants?
Pants. It was dark, so I can tell you it was could have been blue jeans, could have been dark colors. So
Were they trousers? Were they shorts?
trousers.
And the person that you saw, were they wearing a hat?
I know it was just a hoodie over the head.
Thank you, officer. Pass the witness.
Defense.
Officer, did you prepare a report in connection with these events?
Yes, the initial report, preliminary report.
Did you turn that report over to the state?
Yes.
And did you bring?
Oh, no, that, I brought one to the state, no, I just turned it into we usually turn in our reports, everything's online, so, no, I didn't. I would report with.
And you don't have a copy with you?
I don't have a copy.
Yes, you can approach. All right, everyone, please be seated. All right, defense.
Officer Rocha, I found your report. I'm sorry for any confusion I caused.
Thank you.
I want to ask you about the condition of the vehicle when you first found it. It's my understanding that you found no signs of forced entry, correct?
I'm sorry, I did not find a vehicle. I never inspected the vehicle. I only took the preliminary report. It was taken from our garage.
I understand.
And
And
that was
so,
the last. So,
okay, so, but the reports you read indicated no forced entry. Is that correct?
I see my report, what, I don't think I put something like that on my report.
Do you have any idea whether forced entry was used by
No.
whoever?
One thing I checked was if she had the fob with her. That's it.
Approach, Judge?
Yes.
Would you just review that?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. On this, what you highlighted is only forced entry. What I mean by forced entry, any glass shatter, anything on the ground. More or less what I meant.
And there was not any of that, is that correct?
Mm.
To your knowledge, was any manipulation of the vehicle used to get it started?
Objection, speculation.
Sustained.
Did you see, or did you read of any indication that the vehicle was hot wired, if you will?
Objection, speculation.
That will be overruled. I believe the question was, did he read anything?
Yes.
So that objection to speculation will be overruled.
Objection, lack of personal knowledge.
Judge, you
That
had
will
an
be
answer?
overruled. Any other objections? All right, you may proceed.
You can answer.
Oh, okay. If I have any knowledge or read, what do you mean by read?
Did you read any reports or otherwise? Did you read any statement from any other officer that indicating that the vehicle was hot wired or otherwise manipulated?
Objection, hearsay.
Sustained.
Are you personally aware of
No.
whether
The
vehicle was hot wired?
objection has been sustained. Oh, and counsel, you can remain seated.
Oh, thank you, Judge. I was asking a different question, Judge.
All right, no, you can ask your question.
Are you aware of any hot wiring of the vehicle?
Depends what definition of hot wire.
I was hoping you would ask that.
We're in the 21st
Yes.
century, so
Yes, well, are you cognizant of any manipulation of the wiring used to get the vehicle started? You're not.
No. The way to answer your question was there is technology where you pick up the fob or to start the vehicle or open the vehicle.
I understand.
But as to hot wiring, I don't think you can hot wire anything nowadays in vehicles.
I understand. Did you have any? Pass the witness, Judge.
State.
Nothing further from the state, from Officer Rocha.
All right, is this witness excused or subject for recall?
Excused by the state.
Excused, Judge.
All right, thank you. You may step down. State, call your next witness.
State calls Detective Nicholson.
Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Do.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Name is Joshua Nicholson.
All right, and if you could, there should be a little microphone. That's great. If you'll put that on your lapel, it's for the court reporter to hear.
Probably good.
Thank you. And if you'll just make sure you keep your voice up, state.
Detective, how are you currently employed?
I'm a detective with the covert response unit.
What is the covert response unit?
We're plainclothes detectives. We wear regular clothes. We drive unmarked city cars. And we're responsible for investigating narcotics, vice-related crimes, as well as wanted fugitive apprehension
With which agency?
with the San Antonio Police Department.
And how long have you been a detective assigned